a translucent base. Hmm? Hey y'all, it's your girl Nida and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a bop or flop review on the new KVD Vegan Beauty Shake Primer. It is a high impact eyeshadow primer and it is also translucent and comes in this tiny box. Yeah, so a few things about the primer. It retails for $22. This tiny box retails for $22. It's sold on Sephora as well as the KVD Vegan Beauty website. KVD Vegan Beauty is the rebrand of KVD, which is, well, KVD, of Kat Von D's beauty brand. She ended up selling the brand and it was bought. She doesn't have anything to do with it, in case anybody has any squeamish thoughts about that. But yeah, she's not involved in it. They did keep the KVD part, I believe, to either honor her, since it was her brand prior, and also to keep the brand aesthetic and let it be so it can be recognizable, which I understand. A lot of people were like, well, you could have had the aesthetic and not kept KVD in front of it, but people would have then be like, they're copying Kat Von D because that's how the internet works, unfortunately. So I do understand why they kept the KVD part, because it is recognizable for the aesthetic and the products. I get that. So this eyeshadow primer, the details are that it is a invisible vegan eyeshadow primer for everyone. It's formulated for all finishes. Shake Primer unlocks true color and extends wear in a first of its kind bi-phase liquid formula. While traditional primers muddy the color and aren't universal, Shake Primer is designed to give all eyeshadow colors, finishes, and formulas the true color payoff of wet brush application without glazing or ruining your shadows. This small but mighty bottle contains a concentrated elixir of only essential ingredients, so it is not weighed down by binders or fillers, and it's free of silicone, alcohol, and talc. One drop is all you need. This is 5 milliliters, 0.17 fluid ounces for $22. This is what you get here with KVD Vegan Beauty. So, like they said, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like, what about this is $22? So okay, we're gonna go into this with an open mind, because the idea of a invisible translucent primer is actually really great. Funny enough, I ended up buying another one because there is another translucent primer on the market, and it is by Makeup Revolution. So that should be coming in the mail soon, and I'll do a bop or flop on that. And I might do a battle between these two to see which one works. Now, honestly, if this doesn't improve my shadow, it looks at my, like, the payoff of my shadows, or it doesn't, I don't see a difference, I'm returning this. Because $22 is a lot of money to spend on this tiny little bottle. So yeah, but it is a bi-phase formula. So you've got like this black liquid down here and then a clear liquid on top. You're supposed to shake well, and then there is a button at the bottom where you press the button and it dispenses one drop, because they said one drop is all you need, and it has a little dropper top. This is what the packaging looks like. I mean, it's cute. It is cute, but $22. Okay. So the dropper, from what it seems, okay, this doesn't dispense on its own, so that's good. I'm going to be doing a comparison to really see the difference, because putting it on both eyes, I'm not going to see the difference. I'm going to be like, well, how do I know this is more pigmented than if I were to use my regular everyday primer? So I am going to be using the p.louise base primer on my left eye, and I'm going to be using the Shake primer on my right eye. The only other eyeshadow base I use is the ABH eyeshadow base, but I use the p.louise base way more than the ABH base. ABH base is actually pretty good. I like it a lot, but this one at times I use to conceal under my eyebrows because it is closer to my skin shape, my skin tone. p.louise has a whole range of bases that caters to different skin tones from very, very light to very, very pale. And then of course they have a white base for people who are looking for a base that's just going to purely bring out the color of their eyeshadow. All of their bases are very pigmented and actually do perform really well on the eyes, and your eyeshadow actually looks really, really pigmented against it. So I already know the p.louise base can do its thing. We'll see if the Shake Primer can do its thing. I do have a review on my channel of the p.louise base. I'll leave an eye above for that. I made that video a while back, but I'll leave an eye above if you'd like to check it out. So let's get this thing rolling. I'm going to do my left eye first. I'm going to be using the ColourPop Blue Moon palette because I'm in the mood to play with some color today, and I'm just in the mood for blue. So yeah, this is actually a really great palette. I've used it quite a few times and I really, really like it a lot. So let's get moving. So for the p.louise base, all you have to do is put a little on the eye and then pat it in. So a little of this base goes a really long way, and I am using the shade Rumor 5. This is closer to my skin tone, but not exact. I think I ordered the next shade up, which I think I ordered Rumor 6. So that way I could have something that would match, that would hopefully match perfectly. So then that way I could use it to conceal under my eyebrows. I use this to conceal under my eyebrows sometimes, but I prefer my Tarte Shape Tape just because the Shape Tape is a little darker than this. But I do love this a lot for priming my lids for eyeshadows, and it has been proven, at least for me, to be very, very good. So I just put it on, and then I just take this, what is this? This is a Morphe 173, and I just use that to tap it to blend it out. And you don't need to set it with any powder or anything like that. Actually, I should do a swatch test. I should, that's what I should do. So I'm actually going to swatch eyeshadow here for you. I'm going to take this shade down here, Clued In. And I'm going to swatch that on my arm without the primer. Alright, that's how that shows up without the primer. It shows up kind of meh, honestly, without the with no primer. These eyeshadows in this palette do not swatch very well, but they do perform a lot better on the eyes. So I'm going to wipe off my hands, and I'm going to now swatch with the primer. So this is to shake, to incorporate. Okay, take the lid off. Whoa! Okay, if you shake it with the lid off, it does come out. Okay, and then I'm going to press, and I dispensed my one drop. Wipe that on my wrist, and now I'm going to swatch the same exact shade. I use a different finger, and I put it down here. And that's where I'd put it. And the swatch looks a tiny bit better, a little bit, but not like amazing. I don't, okay. Okay, so yeah, looks a little better, but not like, oh my god, this is revolutionary. Mine also didn't, as I turned it upside down, didn't, oh, mine's coming out without me pressing the button. Wow, okay. The whole purpose is not to waste product, and the button is supposed to essentially do that, but waste product anyway. And this is like, this separates so quickly. Like as soon as you shake it and you go to like press the button to dispense, it's already like, oh, I'm separated. So am I not shaking this hard enough? Like that's what it, like, look at that. Like I just shook it and then boom. Like look how quickly that separates. So if I shake it like that, it turns black. And I don't know if you guys can see the separation just quickly happening. So I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna do my eye. I'm gonna do my eye.
Chris O.G.
So we're gonna shake this up. Shake it up. And I'm gonna take the cap off. I'm going to dispense the 1 drop into my hand. You rub it between my fingers and pat that on the lid. So it does go onto the lid very completely translucent. It does feel a little tacky, which I'm assuming is how it's gonna, the shadows are gonna adhere to it. So it's on the lid. It doesn't feel sticky, just a little tacky. And it looks like I have nothing on my eyelid at all. So completely translucent, as they say. I'm not feeling, it's not like making my little folds, because you guys know I have hooded lids. It's not making my folds stick or anything like that. So now I'm going to apply the shadow in the same order with the same brushes and the same products, same palettes as the left eye.
Chris O.G.
So first impression so far, it does work. The shadow is going on very pigmented, and I'm not having any skips or anything like that. I'm using an AO3 E123 brush, and I'm sorry, not AO. I'm using an AOA Studio E123 brush. It's just a regular like eyeshadow like packing brush that I'm just packing this dark blue shade on. I'm trying to do it just like I did the left eye. And that's what it looks like. That's just me packing it on. It looks pretty good. Like I said, no skips or anything like that. So now I'm gonna go in with a Morphe 506. This is just a very small detailed blending brush. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Moonlight. That was the next shade I used, was this light blue up here. I'm gonna go in with that shade and blend out. This is from the ColourPop Blue Moon palette. And I'm gonna blend out the dark blue shade. All right, so face is done. I have mixed feelings about this primer. So as I was putting on my eyeshadow, the initial packing the dark blue shade onto the lid went really well. It showed up very pigmented, and I was like, okay, cool, great. I did have a little more trouble blending out this eye once I started to layer the dark shade on top of itself, but I was able to complete it. It looks good. I'm not seeing, normally, like, sometimes what ends up happening is because of my little crease, I end up getting like some, like, the eyeshadow like breaks up right here. Just, you know, it is what it is. I have hooded eyes, but I'm not seeing that, so that's actually really, really good. So I feel like hooded eye approved. On the p.louise side, I'm not really seeing that either, so, but I expected that. This isn't a comparison between the two really, but oh my gosh, like, this eye does not look more pigmented than this eye. I'll say that right now. It doesn't look more pigmented. Funny enough, this eye, the shade on my lid is actually brighter on this eye than this eye. It's like this eye oxidized. Like, that's what it is. So when I first put on my eyeshadow, this eye like looked just like this one and it was just as bright, but this eye has like oxidized in like the weirdest way, and it's turned what this light blue shadow is into more of like a muted blue. And I'm like, what is that? So in terms of like, I feel like once you start layering on colors, its ability to grab them and hold and adhere them to the lid kind of gets compromised a little bit. But overall, the eye looks good. It just does not look as bright as this one. So it's weird because from a technical standpoint, it's not bad. From a price standpoint, it's terrible, because I feel like if you're going to pay $20-something, you should get more than this little tiny bottle. I understand they're like, oh, well, you know, this will last you a year for one person. I guess maybe if you're a working makeup artist, this would be useful in the sense of like, you won't have to worry about finding a base to match your client. You'd be able to just use this and it's translucent and it's no problem. For the everyday consumer like me, this is extra. I'm not gonna lie. This is mad extra for someone like me. And I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted to keep it and keep using it to see if like maybe I could tweak it a little bit and like get it to show consistent shades. Like on the camera, I don't think you guys can really tell that this shadow on this eye is just a tad bit duller. But like when I look in the mirror here, I can see it. I can see that this eyeshadow on this eye is just this much brighter. And I don't want to split hairs because I want to be able to definitively say whether it's a bop or a flop. So I guess it is a bop in the aspect that for the whole premise of that this is translucent, it just goes on your eye, it's a light tacky layer, and you're able to get full color payoff and actually be able to use the product. It's a bop in that standpoint because I was able to do this eye with, you know, minimal blending issues, but nothing too dramatic, okay? It is a flop because of the price and the amount of product you get for the price. And I feel like, you know, maybe, God, it's so hard. I feel like if this was just a little cheaper, I could justify saying for sure, like if I were to keep it and run out of it, I don't think I would be as willing and ready to run out and go buy some more, because I'd be like, do I really want to spend $22 on eyeshadow primer? Like, this isn't something that I'd be like, yeah, definitely, you run out, go out and buy some more, because it's like $22 for eyeshadow primer. So it's like like, it looks good. I like it. It worked. It did what it was supposed to do, but honestly, it didn't do anything revolutionary. There we go. That's the best way to put it. It didn't do anything like, oh my God, I've got the highest color payoff ever. Like, this gave me a standard eyeshadow base color payoff. Like, this gave me what like the Revolution eyeshadow base, the cut crease base would give me. This gave me a little under what p.louise gives me. Like, And those are cheaper bases. Like, that's the other thing too, is I'm like, this is $22 when I can get this for cheaper, and I did. So price point, flop. It's hooded lid friendly, that's a bop. Did it do anything amazing? Flop in that standpoint. It's okay. It's like a middle of the road product that you're expecting, like they hype it up and they talk it up so much, like that, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing, this is gonna beat everything out there, and then you just get it and it's kind of meh. Like you did good, but you didn't do so good that you had reinvented the wheel. You know, you did good. You did good. You know, you did good. You came, you did your thing. You did good. You did good. But I'm not like, now I understand why not a lot of people are talking about this, honestly, because the few people I have seen talk about it who were like raving about it in their comment sections, people were like, what's the big deal, sis? So I just wanted to get it myself, try it out. I didn't see a lot of people, but the few people I saw talking about it were kind of like, I love it. But when you see the consumer reaction from people who didn't get it in PR, they're like, it's okay. It didn't do anything like amazing. Thanks for coming. So yeah, I guess I'll say it's like a soft bop. It's a soft bop. You know, it's that song that you hear it once or twice and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, sounds all right, sounds good. And then you don't hear it again for another like 5 years, and then you're like, all right, I remember this. It's good. You did good. That's what this is. That's what this is for me. I feel like this is still inconclusive. I don't know why. I feel like I'm not explaining myself properly, but that's just how I feel about it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm probably gonna take this back to Sephora, honestly and truly. I think I'm gonna return it. And yeah, in that aspect, yeah, it kind of is a flop then, if I'm gonna return it. Because normally if something's a bop for me, or even like a soft bop, I'll keep it, but I just really can't justify keeping this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I can't justify keeping it. I can't justify saying to someone, yeah, go out and buy it. Yeah, like there are other products on the market that do this and do it better too, for cheaper. Like if you want, you could get the p.louise base, and if you don't want to do the overseas shipping, you can buy it from Morphe's website. And they also have like, there's a bunch of influencers who have codes with p.louise too for money off. p.louise is also doing a bunch of sales now too. Like p.louise is out here realizing, you know what, it's expensive shipping. The product itself is not that expensive, but the shipping is expensive, and maybe people might want a discount. Just you know, maybe people might want a discount. They're getting that message. So, but this full price $22, there was no discount. I don't believe anybody has a discount code for KVD vegan beauty. If someone does, let me know down in the comments. But I don't know. This was, you know, when I saw this, I was really intrigued, because I'm like, a translucent base. Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep it until my Makeup Revolution one gets here, because that one was dead ass $10. It was $10. The Makeup Revolution one was $10. I ordered it like, I think like a week or two ago, and it should be here, I think either late this week or like next week, and it's Friday already. It's the 17th, so it should be here like next week or something like that. And I think honestly, I'll do a bop or flop review on that one, and I'll do like a battle of the brands kind of deal, like the two of them face off. And then honestly, if the Makeup Revolution one is better, I'm taking this back. And shoot, if I can't justify keeping this in my collection, I'm gonna take it back anyway. I feel like this video is not sounding as conclusive as I'd like. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. I just feel like the price is like this big hurdle, because the product is okay. Like, it's okay, but it's not worth $22. Like, if you're gonna be $22, bitch, you better be out here. Like, my eyeshadow better be able to be seen from the damn moon. Like, the pigment needs to be in freaking sane. Like, but I feel like this is just okay. It's okay. If this video is not conclusive enough for anybody, for any of you guys, please let me know in the comments. I would be so happy to refilm it, like just it a standalone. But I am definitely going to do a kind of like a side-by-side comparison when I get the Makeup Revolution base, and I'm gonna film this one. I'm gonna film that video the same way as I did this one. One eye p.louise, which would be my normal primer, and the other eye with the new primer, which would be the Makeup Revolution one. And then I'll see with that one who looks good and who doesn't. And then I'll do a video comparing the two translucent primers, because they are the only translucent primers that I am aware of, eye primers that I'm aware of on the market currently. And I have seen like nobody talk about the Makeup Revolution one. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, I am uploading every Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesdays at 7 p. EST and Saturdays at 3:30 p. EST. Hit the bell down below so that way you can always be notified whenever I upload. And I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye.